I can franchise something without paying franchise fees.
The freedom of waking up every morning, deciding that day what you want to do.
I don't think governments want people to have the freedom that we have the money that we have.
You are your boss and you have to be tough on you.
When you care about somebody so much, you don't want them to fail. So that was my mentality.
Yeah. Hey, Rakan Khalifa here with Mr.Dayone, Rick Rover. I'm so excited to have you on today, Rakan. It's really hard for us to try to coordinate our time, so we kind of grabbed a corner in the hotel now. We just finished up this great event in Atlanta, which the majority of that, of course, is your team, as it is all over the world. Rakan is the #2 income earner in this company, and he's been here half of the time of the #1 income earner in the company. So he's really come on strong, and I want him to really share some message with you. He's going to give his story. He's going to talk about the value of this industry that he's working in, and then he's going to give you some powerful tips as to why he just exploded into these top ranks and income levels. So Rakan,
Rick, I appreciate you, and it's an honor for me to actually, be on a video with you. I remember when I first met you, it was Kane and somebody else. They had a camera on you, and you were like with somebody, and they were doing a video. I'm like, one day I'm gonna do a video with this guy. So here we are.
Here we are. Okay. All right. Well, this will be a 2-hour video then, just so you all know out there. No, we'll be
I'll
sure.
tell you something. Before I even start with my story, I opened up an actual studio recently.
Yeah, you did.
It's called
It was
Jesus Studios.
amazing.
And in the middle of it, when we were doing everything, I messaged my guys, and I'm like, man, F this. This is hard. Like, it was so much harder to have a brick and mortar business than to have network marketing.
Oh,
business.
yeah.
It is you gotta talk to the contractors, and I'm gonna design this corner, and this what's happening here, and the internet is not here yet, and you call the internet guys, and it's just, you're looking at everything like, I didn't have this hassle when I wrote network marketing.
Been there, done that, buddy.
And this place cost me 50 G's,
No, boy.
$50,000.
Yeah.
Network marketing cost me $1,000.
$1,000,
$1,000,
Yeah.
$2,000 a year, and it's a write-off. So I'm trying to go back in time and see what was the pivot point. I was always against entrepreneurship because my dad was an entrepreneur, and his life was a lot of ups and downs, and I didn't like that. I saw all his friends have stability in their life, stability in their incomes, and slowly going up, but I didn't understand why he was always taking the risk and doing this and building this. And I came to Canada for school, and when I came to Canada, it was tough for me to adopt to this mentality where I have to kind of do something for myself, because I've never done anything for myself. And this is where I saw network marketing, and I loved the idea of it. I'm like, okay, well, I can franchise something without paying franchise fees.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I'll have a system ready. They'll tell me exactly what to do, and they're incentivized to help me. I'll tell you something, with my studios, there's another studio right beside us. So because I'm new in the business, I'm just asking the lady, I'm like, well, how would you do 1, 2, 3? I know on purpose she gave me the wrong answer because I'm competing with her.
Yeah, that's right.
So in network marketing, people are incentivized to help you because it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
So that leads us to kind of my goal in the beginning was to launch the Middle East. But first of all, I didn't have the right mindset in the beginning. I wasn't who I am right now. So I kind of had to develop the skill sets and my mindset over time. And I've tried a lot of times, Rick.
Yeah.
I've tried 2017, 18, 19, up until 2020 where it actually worked. So there was multiple launches that...
So when did you join this project? You've been here how long?
2017,
So
5
you've been
years.
here five
and a half years.
So 5 years you went from
Yeah.
busboy to a multimillionaire. This is unbelievable. Guys, these are the kind of stories that keep me so attached to this industry, guys, because only in this industry can you hear these kind of stories. Give us real quick background. Your background before you came here and what brought you to this industry.
Oh, I had 2 jobs. I worked at a gym. I was not a personal trainer, and I worked at a club. I used to be the busboy. Of a couple people that me and you know, actually.
Yeah.
But the busboy was just to keep money flowing because my gym job wasn't really paying me much. And I really liked the gym. I really wanted to grow at that gym. I wanted to get to big levels. It's a very similar concept to 24-hour fitness.
Of course.
I was attached to that place. But then I guess I was attached to the idea of helping people, not the actual gym. But with the gym, I actually felt like I was helping people with their fitness goals and stuff. So that's kind of my background. When I joined network marketing, it just, everything just shifted.
Yeah.
Everything shifted.
Jeez, I'll tell you what you have done, it's a meteoric rise, as we say.
Thank you.
But you came to Canada and didn't even know the language. Now listen, give the background, tell them where you're from and tell them the language thing, because I always thought it was a very interesting story, because here he's built an industry, not just in his Arabic language, but in English all over the world, so yeah.
Well, I'm Palestinian origin, born and raised in Saudi, so I spoke Arabic there. And then I came to Canada for school. We were taught English, but we never spoke it. You know how you watch the movies and you watch the subtitles?
Yeah.
And you read the subtitles more than you actually watch the movie?
That's right, yeah.
Back home,
Yeah.
and then the movie that comes out in like America, 2019, in the Middle East, we watch it 2022.
And it's called new.
Yeah, and it's new.
Yeah, it's brand
Just
new.
came in recently. So I had to not teach myself English. I knew the basics, but I never spoke it. So when I first joined, Rick, it was tough for me to communicate with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get the words out, but formulating a sentence and putting it in, it was.
Well, you've done really good.
Thank you.
I've seen you on stages all over the world speaking English, and you do really good. So, yeah. Talk to us, Rakan. A lot of people, the network marketing industry has kind of gotten a bad rap over the years because of the elites out there that want to get the degrees and get the great job and be oppressed all their life by their bosses. And they're kind of against the freedom, the entrepreneurship. The things that we enjoy in this industry is creating a residual income that even after you stop working, the income continues to go. And this is really the key. And also, where else in the world, Rakan, could you go from Busboy to where you are right now in that period of time? This industry, tell these people that are listening today what this industry is to you, what it means to you, and what it's done for you and your family.
So 2 parts of the question. The first part is, why does it have a bad rap? Well, it's a couple things. Number one, anything good for people is bad. Anything good for people has a bad rep.
Yeah.
I don't think governments want people to have the freedom that we have the money that we have. We're considered, this is not okay for too many people. You heard of Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
So you know how Andrew Tate went to, what did Andrew Tate do really so wrong? Other than the charges he had, he was helping people. He was actually selling an educational course, and he was helping men kind of get out of their mind and really be the alpha male that they will, whatever. Yeah. But anything that goes against what the stigma is, you gotta have a 9 to 5, you gotta raise a family, you gotta do this. In people's society, and I'll be honest with you, I think network marketing, because I spoke to older people in network marketing that have been here for like 30 years, network marketing had more of a bad rep then than it has right now.
It's interesting.
It's because the new generation, they're understanding. Everything is social media. Everything is online. What do you mean I gotta go and knock on doors? The new generation, you're telling me to go to talk to people? Oh my God. But there's pros and cons to it. The pros is, yes, it's more available, it's more acceptable. The cons is there's more haters because it's on social media. They have platforms that they can speak about stuff like that. So the pros and cons to everything. So that's kind of the second part. You said the family stuff.
The second part is that what has this business done for you and your family?
So my first couple of years, I didn't have anybody, my immediate family join. And I don't know what the main reason was, I'll be honest with you. I'm like, okay, let's put, how there's always like a bad rep between family, keep business and family like separate.
Yeah.
So I had this mentality up until my sister was sitting down one day and she forced me to sign her up, I think.
Yeah,
she's I'm signing up right now.
Sister, by the way, is the #1 female income earner in this company. We call it the Khalifa dynasty.
The Khalifa reign. And when she got started, I was, when you care about somebody so much, you don't want them to fail. So that was my mentality.
Yeah.
I can't afford for her to fail.
It's hard with family.
Yeah, it's very hard with family. Yeah. And, she just took horns, man. She just took this thing and she just flew. And now we have our younger brother. He's, recently joined. He's developed. I joined when I was, 22. My sister joined when she was 21, 22 as well. He joined when he's 18. Just turned 18, signed up right away. Actually, on the night of his birthday, he signed up.
Oh, is that
on the 18th, yeah. And we still have a younger sister that when she turns 18, the exact same thing will happen.
The dynasty continues.
And I'll tell you something, it's very cool because this business has got us closer to where we are. I feel like as siblings, you get used to each other, but when we're in the business, there's just a different way of talking to each other when we're this close, when we're working the business. Yes, of course, there's pros and cons to it with the fights and stuff, but I guess that happens in every family. But I truly believe the business has got my whole family closer. My dad no longer works. My mom works for me, just being my mom.
And that's a full-time job.
That's a full-time job.
If you know this guy, that's a full-time job.
But it's just, my life has been. My dad only calls me now for investment opportunities. He's trying to invest in things.
How life could flip.
I'm like the bank, right? So Rakan, now we're gonna open up a machine here and a machine here. Well, much? And I'm like, okay, then whatever. I guess whatever you want. And I have the ability to really fund that. And it's their time to sit down. It's their time to retire.
Well, the feeling that you get that success gives you, the endorphins and the power and the energy and the hope and the dreams that it gives you, I don't really think until people actually experience that, they really understand what that means.
I agree.
The freedom of waking up every morning, deciding that day what you want to do. And nobody's going to tell you otherwise.
I agree.
But you also have to have responsibility because you are your boss and you have to be tough on you. They think that freedom comes without that responsibility.
Yeah. It comes with actually greater responsibility.
Much greater responsibility because it's not just for you, but if you're building a team, you're responsible for everybody.
You need to wake up for other people.
Let me give you just a little insight on Rakan Khalifa. we have a convention. He goes to this convention, and it's just 3 days. He's on stage all the time doing his thing, and it gets over, and everybody's just exhausted. I mean, they're just tired, and they're just like, oh man, I got to get in my room and take my clothes off, that kind of stuff. Where's Rakan? Rakan's over in the corner with 200 people in the corner screaming up and down, going like that all day long. I've been trying to do this interview with you for 2 days. I can't get you away from your people. The energy level that this man has, guys, is unbelievable, and he's a legend in this industry already, and your future is crazy. Well, I've been around a long time, and I look at the next 5 or 10 years, you can't even imagine what can possibly happen to you. One of the great things about Rakan is that he's a spiritual man. At the same time, he believes in the higher power. Yeah, he believes in destiny. He believes in people. Absolutely. And so because of that, it gives him that inner strength and inner energy in the dark moments. And I've seen you in those dark moments as you're starting out. You know, we've had those discussions where, you know, business goes like this, guys. Business goes like this. But the key is to never quit. Yeah. And the people in the downs that quit, that's when great leaders really take hold. And that's what I saw you do. And I'm so proud of you. I couldn't believe this. And all of a sudden it just goes whoosh, just like this. And the sky's the limit for you. Because you got a great company, you got a great opportunity. It's a legacy company. You have a legacy mindset. All those things are going to work for you. And it's going to be just unbelievable, but not just for you. And you know, your focus is not on you. You're okay.
For my people.
Your people.
Yeah.
Your people. Because you have a great heart. And that heart is what will drive your future, my friend. But let's talk about just a minute as we wrap this up a little bit. About business tips for people. So there's a lot of people that will watch these videos that will say, you know, that's okay, but what do I do? You know, how do I get a recruit? What do I do this? What's the tips? What's the keys? Everybody wants a key to the business. You notice that?
Yeah.
And you know what I was telling you? Know what the key to the business is? Go to work.
Yeah.
Just go to work.
Pretty much the key.
You go to work, you'll figure out the keys once you go to work, right? They're going to be sitting on the table, but at the end of the work cycle. So give us some business tips and things that have worked for you, Rakan. Yeah. That you think really made this happen.
So let's talk if it's somebody new, right? Just joined the business, I'm a little confused with what I gotta do. I wanna go back in time, and I wish I did these 3 things very well. Number 1, I wish I was the messenger, not the message. Right?
Very good.
So when I used to go talk to people, I was like, yeah, I am the person, and it's me. Rather than, hey, I know somebody I can connect you with.
Gotcha.
Because these guys, they're my friends, and they know me as the guy from the Busboy. I'm cleaning the table. Yeah. They don't know me as a rising entrepreneur, as a guy that's changing his mindset as. But if I connect them with, you know, a leader or an upline or somebody that's a little bit more experienced than me, and they speak to them, chances are they'll join forces, and I'll benefit by default. So that was number 1. I wish I was the messenger, not the message. Number 2, I wish I connected with more people, not even in a business way, just built up a community so I can utilize it when I need it the most. In the beginning, it was always like, oh, if you're not in a business, I can't talk to you. I was very vicious with the idea of, I want to be able to just get people in business. And you should have that mentality. It's just never cut bridges, because you never know. I've had somebody sign up last week that has been following me for 5 years, right? And they were my friends 2 years prior to that. So I know this person for 7 years. They signed up last week.
That person's got to be a little mad.
So like, I wish I have nurtured that relationship and I kept it going. And then the third thing, actually I'm gonna give them 4. Third one, I wish I built my brand area. Now, a brand doesn't mean just videos. A brand is you connecting with people. A brand is people knowing who you are. Of course, you're gonna have the pictures, the videos and stuff. And by the way, Rick, we don't need the $1,000 camera. iPhones are good enough. iPhones are good enough.
It is.
Like, I know so many artists and people that take pictures today. iPhones as a starting point. Then you'll make some money. Then you can get all the cameras and stuff. It's cool. Right. And the last thing I would say, I wanted to recruit more people in the wrong ways, not in the right ways. And I wasn't majorly focused on the value I'm giving out to people and serving them. And by serving them, they'll be able to jump on my opportunity and kind of be with me in the trenches. And just understand that it took me, my first 6 months, I didn't make $1. And then first year, I made total of $500. Actually, a little bit less, it's 400 something Canadian, so it's like 200 American. and then my 6-figure income came the second year. I didn't hit $1 million up until 4 years. It takes time.
Oh, wow, I feel really sorry for you. It took 4 years to get $1 million a year income. Yeah. I think everybody out there saying, man, he really struggled.
But I mean, my point is, what's the difference between me and somebody else? I'm getting the $1 Million Hall of Fame in the 4th year and somebody getting else in 7th year. There's not much difference. We're both millionaires. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just got it faster. And what? Like, that doesn't enhance anything in life. You buy a couple things, but it's not going to change your life. But I tell people, I'm like, what if it takes you 7 years? Is it worth it than going and never having an option of being a millionaire at a job?
20 years. Yeah.
That's my point, right? So, yeah, just a long-term game.
Well, that's the thing, and one of the things about money is it's always out there. But if you're driven by money, you'll always be restricted from getting it.
I agree.
One of the things that I learned a long time ago in my career, as I went on the path you've gone on, is that if I'm focused on the money, I can't get to it. And the problem is that people without money focus on
Focus on the money.
And then once you get the money, then you don't focus on the money. So that's like a cat chasing its
Yeah,
tail,
yeah.
you know. And so you have
so
to
true.
you have to actually kind of fake yourself out, kind of sell yourself on the idea is I'm doing it for this reason. I'm doing it for the mission. No mission over money. When you do those kinds of things, and when you do that, the money will just come.
I agree.
If you do the right things and you help people and you love people and you're literally a servant leader, the money comes. And would you agree with that? I see that happening for you right now. You have the most amazing team, and we're going to have some of your team on these videos on this channel. And I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for your future, your family, and for your entire team.
I learn from the best.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you being here. I love you,
Thanks,
man.
Rick.
Take care.
Appreciate it, man.
Bye now.